I got a question, and I can't actually find it, but one person asked me, how would you feel if Terence Crawford fought Canelo Alvarez? Now, at first, I kind of chuckled and goes, well, that's not going to happen. But maybe it could. So let's explore this fantasy matchup after this groovy intro. So sit back, relax, and maybe vibe out for a second to that. So I hope you subscribed and you think I'm a cool dude. If Terence Crawford were to fight Canelo Alvarez, it's kind of starting to display the greatness of Crawford, that we have to think about, okay, he's going to give up a lot of size, but he's so supremely talented at boxing, angles, and movement that he can outclass possibly a bigger man. Because what makes that fight interesting, though there's a huge size difference in my opinion, even though they're similar, Canelo does have a much wider frame. The interesting component to a fight with Crawford and Canelo is, if Canelo were to come in flat-footed and aggressive the way he fought Bivol, even though Crawford's the smaller man, could Crawford turn him and exploit some of that? Now, I don't necessarily think this fight is going to happen, but let's say Canelo wins 2 fights. There's some type of catch weight. These are the 2 really popular fighters in 2024, maybe 2025. They're on these runs. They're the biggest names in the sport. They're both getting older. They're both close to being done. Could it happen as the 2 biggest names vying for one last, whose era is it? Because I think the other thing about Crawford's big performance is Crawford's kind of, with this win over Spence, kind of overshadowing Canelo's really great 2021 year, because Canelo lost to Bivol, and then he's had 2 really forgettable fights. The Golovkin fight, I feel like, made no impression on culture at large. If anything, it kind of hurt him, because I think that people were like, ugh, I'm not a fan of this fight. This was a letdown. It was Lethal Weapon 4. And the John Ryder fight, I honestly forget it actually happened. Didn't even pay attention to it. Didn't watch it live. Didn't have an interest in it. Kind of knew the result. And when I saw the result, it wasn't the result I expected. So to see that Ryder went rounds with him, to see that Canelo kind of is slowing down, it seems, was a little bit of a letdown. And that's why Canelo's occupying number 9 on my pound for pound list. 2 years ago, he's number 1. Now he's down to 9. It feels like he's going the wrong way. No, that would upset Canelo. But if this fight were to happen, it would be essentially that Crawford is beating everyone at 154. And it's the Inoue rule. Then Crawford would be so dominant that even though he was a lightweight champion, a junior welterweight champion, a welterweight champion, and a super welterweight champion, it would be like, okay, who's the biggest name fighter that we care about that could realistically beat Crawford based on being bigger than him? And that's Canelo Alvarez. Now, does it happen? I mean, I'd much rather see a David Benavidez fight, because I think that's more interesting. But if Canelo doesn't look great against Charlo but wins, beats another guy that's not named David Benavidez, or beats Benavidez, but maybe isn't looking the greatest, maybe he would entertain this, being, hey, I'm going to be the bigger man. This is a generational fight. Who knows? Boxing is fluid, and boxing is about money. So if the money is there, the fight can be made. But realistically, I think this is more of a fan question, in which we're putting together 2 of the most popular and relevant fighters who have a lot of accolades, and just putting their names in a hat to just kind of have a conversation. So let me know, do you think this will happen? Yes, no, maybe so. And see you on the next video.